Welcome to the very first episode of To the Magic and Beyond podcast. My name is Jordan, and I'm here with my co-host, Michelle. Say hello.
Hello.
And we're excited to talk to you guys about all things Disney and beyond. I guess we'll just jump right in, kind of talking about who we are and why you should care about what we have to say.
Yeah, because we have lots to say.
Lots to say. As I said, my name was Jordan, and I have a lot of jobs, but one of my main jobs is I am a travel agent with Share the Magic Travel, and we focus a lot on Disney travel, Universal travel, and all things travel, really. But Disney is probably my most favorite thing to plan because Disney is my most favorite place to go. So.
Yeah, good deal. Well, I'm not a travel planner, but I'm a travel doer.
Traveler.
Yes, and I love Disney, evidently. It's where I go the most. My husband would say that. So I'm a nurse by trade, so I do work in healthcare. And so that's my day job. And then I just enjoy Disney. Only went to Disney as a kid once. And when I had kids, started going to Disney with my mom, who's not with me anymore, but she loved Disney.
Aww.
And so she just enjoyed one of the things that I think that Disney is really about, which is Disney's not just a theme park, right? It's an experience. Yeah. And all of us, Disney goers, that's what we like to say, right? Is that it's an experience and not just a theme park. It's a great theme park.
Yeah.
All four of them.
Lots to offer.
And the water parks as well. But it's really, you could go and never get on a ride and do something all day long. And I think that's what I like. I like meeting new people.
Yeah.
And so I like going with my girls. We go a lot. My husband goes every now and then.
When you can convince him.
He is not the Disney fan that I am. And so, that's just what I like to do with my free time. It brings me joy, and I think you should do that. Mm-hmm. And everyone isn't blind, so they can see that there's a little bit of an age difference here. So, I'm older, and so I can kind of go when I want to go. I don't have little people that I've got to drag along or, trying to figure out who I am. This is it. Mm-hmm. And so I want to go while I can and while I have some money.
Yes. Yeah, because it's not going to go with us, right?
It's not going with us. I've decided I can just spend it all at Walt Disney World, so that's what I'm going to do.
Which is magical.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I actually used to live outside of Orlando for about 8 or 9 years, and my family was such big Disney fans that when my dad was kind of in between jobs, we lived in Colorado, my mom was like, let's just move to Florida.
Oh, it's my dream. It's my dream.
That was always her dream.
Yeah, your mom's my hero.
Yeah, and we got to do that. I mean, it was pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. Like, we moved there when I was 10. I lived there 10 through 18, and Disney was in our backyard. Like, we lived in a little suburb just outside of Orlando, and got to go to Disney on the weekends, had the annual pass, grew up with it. And obviously now living in Tennessee, it's not in the backyard. No. But it's still somewhat close. Both of us go a lot. But even having grown up there and being able to go so many times as an annual pass holder in that sense, there's still new things to explore every time you go. So it just makes you want to keep going back.
Yeah. They're pretty smart.
They are. They know what they're doing.
Every time there's a new land, I remember, this is back in, I guess, 2013, they had started the expansion of Fantasyland. And so we had gone in 2011. We had a big gap in Disney. Yeah. I had gone to nursing school, and so for graduation, my parents and I went in Thanksgiving 2004. And so this is what we were going to, we went, and then I was a new nurse, had all these things. Kid had a bunch of surgeries, and so Disney just really wasn't there. My husband's mother got really sick, and I was like, I just really want to go to Disney. Yeah, and so after she passed away, we planned a trip, and we went back in 2011. And my kids were big at that point. They're in high school.
Which
this
is a whole
great.
New experience.
It's a whole new thing. Although we still do a lot of all the same things. We like the characters and the food and the rides. But we went, and then I was hooked again. Yeah. And so then for graduation, when the oldest one, Courtney, graduated, we were going in 2013. And the coolest thing happened is that the band, the high school band that they were in, decided to go.
Oh, wow.
And so my kids were a freshman and a senior and marched pre-parade, pre-nighttime parade,
That's
which for us Disney loyalists, there's nothing like a good nighttime parade, right? And so we had all of that. And so I got to go twice in 2 months, which I just did again.
Now it's becoming more of a norm.
Now it's kind of a habit. But we went, and so, that was neat. But they were doing that Fantasyland expansion. That was when we were getting 2 Dumbos.
Yeah.
I remember when there was one, and it was up right by the castle, right by the carousel.
Yeah.
And so that was different, but the walls were up, and there is no excitement like walls up at Disney. Yeah, because walls up mean it's coming. It's the goodness is coming. It just keeps you bringing you back, and for as much as you pay, right? It's I want something new.
Yep.
And I'm super excited for all the things that they've got coming.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, I feel like I had finally gotten to a point where I caught up and saw everything that was like new within this past year of going on a couple of trips, and then they had the D23 event and announced like all of the new things that are coming, and I'm like, see, I have to keep going back because there's new things.
Yeah, so like last year, right? I said next year I'm only going once. Yeah. Like I'm just going one time. That's it. I mean it. That's really what's going to. And everybody that knows me were like, yeah, no. And now I'm already going twice, but maybe
a third.
Maybe we're going a third time, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And so we'll see. So I mean, it's something we both have in common. Now we both like to do other things.
Yes.
So there may be some other things on the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, we like going to Universal. Universal's got Epic Universe opening this year, which is exciting.
Oh, super exciting.
There's so many cool travel stuff, so many cool things going on with Disney, with Universal, things like that. And so we're 2 people who love to talk all things Disney and travel. And we just thought, hey, we have these conversations with each other all the time. Why not just record the conversations?
Exactly. Because it's not just about tips. And you can get tips and tricks on all kinds of podcasts. And we're going to have some of those.
Yeah, definitely.
Based on the way we do Disney.
Yeah.
We didn't even know we did Disney similar. Right. Until we just went together.
Yeah. We did our very first trip together a couple months ago.
And we kind of, because you'll have people that do it different ways. And there's no wrong way to do it.
Nope.
It's nice when you go with people if you do it the same.
Yes. Yeah.
You're happier.
Definitely makes it a lot more of a cohesive experience versus sometimes when you've got the different travel types, you got to give and take a little bit here and there, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's still a fun trip, but definitely if you're more with like-minded individuals of, we get there at open and we stay till close people. Yes. Not everyone is like that, and that's fine, but it was nice that, we were with someone else that was there for the long run.
Exactly. Like we had done that, and then 10 days later,
I
was back at the hurricane. I'm sure we're going to do an episode on the hurricane, but I actually was there during the last hurricane. But I was with a family of 5 who ranged in age. The kids we had like an almost 1-year-old all the way up to Grayson is 17.
Yeah.
And then the mom and the dad. And so that was just a little different kind of trip. And I knew going in that we were going to have to change. Yeah. Like we went with a complete one plan and not even based on the hurricane. Right. Just based on the family hurricane, the hurricane that was us. Right.
Yes.
And you have to be flexible. And if you're not flexible, it's not that you can't go.
Yeah.
But your expectations, you're going to have to set your expectations for what you can do in a day, and not everybody can do the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're talking about. Like, I mean, you've got some other trips planned this year. Yep. I know you cruise.
Yes. Big cruisers. Recently big cruisers. That's been a new thing we've discovered and loved.
Yeah. So, and you can plan cruises, so you can help folks with those. Yeah. I'm going to the nation's capital in October, right? My family, 2 of us have been. I've been a bunch for work lately. And so I've kind of decided I'm an expert on the monuments.
There you go.
Not all of DC.
Yeah.
But just Monument Mall.
Key part.
I've seen a lot of Monument Mall and some museums lately. So it's great, though. And again, I like to just have fun and go see different things. And but I do end up at Disney because it's my fun spot. Your mom, like I said, was my hero.
Yeah.
I would love to relocate, I think.
Yeah.
I had a boss recently who actually is based 15 minutes from the park.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so they, like he would talk to me and he's like, yeah, we're going to have brunch at Steakhouse 71 and that burger, it's so good. And I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah, I wish I could do
like,
that.
I want to be there.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but like I only go to the parks between like October and March.
Yeah, the locals have their limits on when they go.
The heat kind of gets them.
Yes.
And here I was there in July.
Yeah.
I was there in July going,
because it works with your schedule.
This is great.
We're fine.
I like it at 110.
Yeah.
This is good. Short hair is okay.
Yeah.
It's not terrible.
Right.
With all of that,
Yes,
so
that
you can do it.
feel
But
very nice.
yeah, we've got some great things. I know we're talking about possibly trying to go to D23, which is where Disney's gonna reveal the future.
Even more new things for us to be excited about.
And then Universal.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's great. I've been several times. Harry Potter is, man,
so cool.
and the updates that they're about to release at Harry Potter are just going to be just that piece. That's not even accounting for all the other lands that they're going to release. And so, Universal isn't my favorite. Disney has my heart.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of fun to be had at Universal. And if that's your thing, I know you've got a family member that thinks it's like way better than Disney
ever. Yeah.
Right? They don't love Disney. They love you. And that's okay. To each his own.
Both equally in their own ways. I think that happened a lot from growing up partly there as we went to both of them, and they're like kind of separate enough entities in my mind that it's like if I want Disney, if I want a certain type of ride or experience, I go to Disney. If I'm more into this mood today, I'll go to Universal.
Yeah, I mean, you can have them both.
Yeah.
Now there's a cost.
Truth.
You can have them both.
It's gonna cost you.
You can have it. But but it's fun. And so we're gonna talk about other things. There may be some other type things that come up that we talk about. So don't hate us if we don't talk about Disney today.
Yes.
But I would say you're going to get plenty of Disney.
Yeah, definitely Disney focused. We're going to talk so much about that just because we love to, but we also want to give you little something different that you might not get from all of the similar podcasts to us. Yeah. We know there's a lot out there that you can listen to. They're awesome. They're great, super informational, and we're going to be informational as well, giving you travel tips from an advisor of how, like, if I'm planning a trip for a family of 4 with these kids, here's what we recommend, or just from our own personal experiences of traveling with different groups of people. Like, we're definitely here for travel tips, how-tos, but we also just want to share our knowledge and experiences with Disney and with other types of travel as well.
Well, and then not only that, but like I'm an experienced Disney goer, and I started using travel planners years ago. Mm-hmm. Why? If you're experienced and you go all the time, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking I could walk you through counterclockwise of going through the Magic Kingdom.
You could, yeah.
And I could hit everything. Right? And I could do it the opposite way too. Like we could go clockwise. Yeah. But at the same time, it's my time now.
Yes.
So, like, I'm not a travel planner.
Yeah.
I'm in healthcare. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not focused. If I've got somebody else, like a Jordan, that's willing to book my dining, like you did the other day.
It just takes,
like you got up the other day for me.
One thing off your shoulder, Yeah. Could you do it? Absolutely. Is it nice to not have to worry about that?
Free of charge. On top of all of that. And, when we talk about free dining at Disney or Universal's buy 3, get 2 free. Come on, guys. Nobody's getting anything for free, right? We all know there's no free lunch.
Paying something.
But the travel planner is free. And so you definitely should take advantage of that. And that's not just a plug. That's what I'm living. Yeah. Like, I do it. And last year, several times. Like, more than my husband would like, probably. We could retire sooner. But I like Disney World. Yes. But again, so, it's memories. And, we're going to talk about merch. We were talking about merch earlier. Yeah. And what rolls out and trip plans and when you come back what that looks like. You're going to Universal very soon.
Yep, very soon.
And I'm excited to hear about that because I've not been to Universal in a minute, so we're definitely going to be talking about that. So I think there's just going to be a lot of information. You can kind of glean from it what you want.
And obviously as we go to, the more you listen, if there's specifics that you guys want to hear about, let us know.
I mean, if you need to know what's the best way to do Lightning Lane, right?
We got you.
We got you. And, all of the things that go with that.
Yes.
Also the dollars that go along
Right.
with that. We got you. We can tell you why it's good
Yep.
and why it's not, because we've both done the parks without it.
With and
you
without,
know,
yeah.
and
We were around when they were free.
yeah, we were
You
around when they
know?
were free. I was around when they didn't exist.
Yes,
Right. And then you
yeah.
had Fast Pass and then Fast Pass Plus.
Yeah.
And you know, no one's been happy.
Yep.
You know, like if
Yeah.
you're
There's
constantly
never gonna
wanting
be
somebody to do something just like you like it,
Yep. Yeah.
you want Skip the Lines for free, but yet Disney was the only one doing Skip the Lines for
Yeah.
free. And did
Yeah.
it for a really long
They
time.
did. They really hung in there a lot longer than you probably would have expected.
And
them
as
to.
mad as everybody likes to think, and they make all this money, you know, COVID was terrible for Disney. Like, you're talking about a place that shut down
Yeah.
for almost a year.
Yeah.
And
had
lost
probably before that never ever shut down.
Right. Like maybe what? Like for a hurricane? Like when you were
for a
living
day,
in Florida
like
for a
half
day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Half the time being in Central Florida, we didn't really get the bad hurricane parts of it, so they stayed open and the locals went to the parks on
Right,
those
because it was a low
days.
crowd day.
Yeah.
And
so
when we talk about that,
they
I've got
really
some
don't
coverage
shut down
for
if
it.
They
Yeah.
don't have to.
Yeah, and I mean, but you know, I mean, all those folks and their jobs, and Disney was trying to take care of one of the largest families that exists.
Yeah.
And they were trying to do that the best that they could. And so sometimes, as we all
Yep.
have to
You
look at our
cease-
budget, and
yeah.
you have to figure out what you're going to
Something's
do.
got to change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think we don't love all the changes all the time.
We'll
And
be
that includes
honest.
us. Yeah,
we're
yeah.
right there with you. We're
Yeah.
consuming it too. We're paying to go.
Oh yeah,
you know?
we're paying all the time,
Yeah.
all the time to go, and we don't like all the. You know, I don't like all the ride changes. You know, I've heard the biggest thing lately is I've actually heard this week at least 3 different times. Someone has talked to me about the change in Rockin' Roller Coaster to the Muppets.
Oh yeah, that's
From
a big
Aerosmith.
deal.
And it's people that are like, why?
Yeah.
And of all the things, why the Muppets? I'm like, well, I can't ride Rockin' Roller Coaster
Yeah.
because it makes me sick.
Yeah.
But I really wish I could because
I
I
know,
love the
you love the
Muppets because
Muppets.
I'm from the Muppet generation. But not everybody, like there are a lot of people named, who is Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy?
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah.
And they're like, they didn't even like the Muppet
The
show.
Yeah.
right? They didn't like that show. Like they were skipping it. And so now you're moving them to the,
To the roller coaster.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah. But
Yeah.
on the flip side of that, you probably have a whole generation of people now that, like, no offense, Aerosmith, but maybe didn't know who Aerosmith was either.
no,
you know?
exactly.
So,
yeah.
again, kind of like you said, that there's
Muppets or Taylor Swift? What's
Right.
going to bring in the most
Yeah.
people,
Who
right?
is
Who
gonna-
are they going to make happy?
who's
right?
going to make them pay the most royalties?
Right, there's a lot of football fans not
they're
real happy
partnered.
that she's changing football,
Right,
right?
right.
So are they going to be happy if she's on the roller
Exactly.
coaster? I don't know. My
Yeah.
girls will, but
Yeah.
not everybody, right?
Yeah.
So you can't keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
So Disney constantly has to fight the legacy,
Mhm.
but yet give people more
Update.
because if you're
Yeah.
paying, you want to go and you want to
Yes.
experience it. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we just have a good time. Anytime
Yeah.
we're together talking, like we said, we're like, hey, maybe we should put this on a podcast.
Yeah, and so here we are. And so, we'll see kind of where it takes us. And this is our debut.
It's gonna be an exciting year.
Exciting. I mean, there's going to be a lot of content.
Yeah.
We may even sprinkle some fun stuff in there. We're both sports fans.
Yeah.
So we may have some of that for you if you're, especially into sports.
Yeah.
And so we'll kind of go from there. So we hope you come back and catch us. Tune in anytime that you can. We'll have something else out for you very soon.
Yeah, and be sure to follow us on social media so that way you know when we've got a new episode out. But we're just really excited for what this podcast can be and what this next year is going to bring. So make sure you tune back in to the Magic and Beyond with Michelle and Jordan.
See you soon.